The Denver Broncos get some interesting news heading into the AFC Championship. What is going on, Broncos country? We're going to be talking about how the Broncos match up really well against the Patriots in this game. We're also going to be talking about how the Denver Broncos signed a familiar face that could be a big key factor with quarterback Jarrett Stidham. And we're also going to be talking about what we're thinking about J.K. Dobbins, what the world's thinking about J.K. Dobbins. We're going to be talking about how Jarrett Stidham is absolutely taking over Broncos Twitter. Stiddy City is a real and in effect. And if you enjoy Denver Broncos content, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It helps recommend me to more Bronco fans like yourself. So up first, let's talk about this interesting tweet that the Underdog put out, which is a PFF metric. The Broncos averaged the most QB pressures a game this season at 24.2. The Patriots have generated 39 and 33 pressures in their two playoff games, respectively. Here's the thing about this is and I know Patriot fans are going to say, well, you're just digging to talk trash about us. That's not really the truth here, okay? I think the Patriots are a really good young team, but when we talk about them actually playing good offensive lines, before the postseason, their edge rushers as a unit was ranked 32 at getting pressure in the NFL. Yeah, they got Milton Williams back in the Chargers playoff game. They had him against the Texans. But when you look at this, Patriots have generated 39 and 33 pressures in their first two playoff games. You really, truly have to factor in the fact that the New England Patriots played the LA Chargers, which were ranked the 32nd best offensive line at the time and was the worst offensive line in the league. And then you play the Houston Texans, which aren't far behind the LA Chargers, with the 27th ranked offensive line. And I know the whole narrative is going to be, well, you have Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. It don't really matter. In this league, people really fail to realize how important it is to be good in the trenches. Denver is good on both sides of the ball in the trenches. Their elite offensive line, second-ranked offensive line in the NFL, is going to be the best matchup that New England's defense has seen all year. Because when we talk about guys up front that aren't going to let you get through, when your pass rush is already not that good, it's just really looked good because you've been playing me, my dad, my brother, and my uncle at offensive line for the last 2 weeks in the postseason. Hayden Winks put out a tweet that absolutely gives me a lot of hope that this defense is just going to manhandle Drake May in the backfield. Broncos are fourth in pressure rate without a blitz, and that's saying something. That's without sending the dogs. It's without blitzing. Left tackle Campbell, since returning from injury, has a 10% pressure rate allowed, which would be 87th out of 98 offensive tackles this year. So he's been absolutely terrible at his position. Another guy that's not been too good since he's come off of the injury is Jared Wilson for the New England Patriots. He's an absolute liability. So is Campbell. The Broncos are a team, and I know they're going to say, well, we played the Texans. They have Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. Yeah, they have the two edges that are going to hit you on the outside. Denver has two edges that are going to hit you on the outside, and then they have a whole D-line that I can name 3, 4, 5 guys on that D-line that could step up and actually make plays and get after Bo Nix. Zach Allen's a first-team All-Pro. He's going to be hitting the middle super hard while Benito and Cooper are hitting the edge, and I just really think that they're going to get the most pressure that Drake May has seen all year. The Broncos proved against Josh Allen that they can absolutely stop the deep ball. The Broncos defense was fantastic against Josh Allen when he tried to go deep per Zach Stevens. He found this information through Zebra technology. When throwing 30-plus yards, Allen was 0 for 9 and 2 interceptions. And I know that they're all going to say, well, Drake May is a more accurate deep ball passer. Drake May has better weapons and all this other BS, bro. At the end of the day, Josh Allen is a more talented quarterback. He was probably the best quarterback in the postseason, and we eliminated him. We took him out of the game. We made him turn the ball over. He has experience, and he still lost the game. Drake May is going to be in Denver, in the Mile High City, where the altitude is going to be affecting him. He's never played in Colorado before, and there's just a whole bunch of factors that could really come back to help the Denver Broncos in this game. Sleeper NFL put out a tweet about Jarrett Stidham and what Sean Payton had to say about the guy that's going to be starting for the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship. He will be ready to go and ready for the moment. One of Stiddy's great strengths is his mental aptitude and his progressions and understanding plays. He's very accurate, and he's got a lot to his ball. Mike Kliss put out a tweet that the Broncos are bringing back wide receiver Brandon Johnson to their practice squad. He was with the Broncos in 2022 and 2023, had 25 catches, 5 touchdowns, was on the practice squad with the Steelers and the Bucs this year, knows Sean Payton's offense, and is good insurance with the wide receiver group banged up. I absolutely agree. I think that this is an absolute great move, considering that the Broncos have Jarrett Stidham under center. Him and Brandon Johnson had a good connection. I'm a big fan of Brandon Johnson, was super excited when I seen this news. And I know what everybody's going to say is this doesn't sound good for guys like Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant, which we don't have any updates on now. However, Pat Bryant has had 2 concussions in 3 weeks. I doubt that he'll be on the field this week. And then you got Troy Franklin that has a hamstring injury. You don't want to risk that being more than just a hamstring injury. So I think the Broncos are bringing in some insurance. Considering they called up Elijah Moore last week, now they bring in Brandon Johnson to put on the practice squad. And I would not be surprised if either of those wide receivers are not playing this week. Brandon Johnson will definitely hear his name called. A report came out the Broncos released veteran center Michael Dieter from the practice squad per The Wire. Moves were made to open up for Brandon Johnson, and starting center Luke Wattenberg is expected to be back from the IR this week. That's absolutely huge if you get Luke Wattenberg back and put him in that lineup with an already elite offensive line. The Broncos are also keeping the tickets very exclusive to Denver Bronco fans, which is absolutely great. Broncos spokesman Patrick Smith, as we've done in previous AFC Championship games, the extremely limited amount of single-game tickets are on sale for Sunday, which was restricted to the Rocky Mountain region to prioritize Bronco fans. With more than 98% of Broncos season ticket members opting in the playoff tickets, the remaining inventory, consisting to a few thousand tickets, was nearly sold out within 24 hours, which is absolutely great because the Broncos need the home field advantage. The Broncos need the crowd to be very loud, and there don't need to be too many Patriot fans in the building. And just a little bit to talk about J.K. Dobbins. There's not any new updates regarding him. However, a lot of people seem to think that he's not going to be able to go this week. I think if he starts off limited in the first day of practice and then becomes full for 2 days, I think that there's a very good chance that we see J.K. Dobbins show up in the AFC Championship. I also just want to kind of touch on how Jarrett Stidham and the Stiddy City trend with his profile picture on Twitter, like there ain't no party like a Stiddy party. Jarrett Stidham is going viral through Broncos country, and this movement for Stiddy is absolutely amazing. Remember, if you enjoy Broncos content, to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and go Broncos.